Okay, I'm finally sitting down and recording the final day of the Warrnambool trip. And it's been about 2 weeks. I split my lip, so I'm not putting lipstick on that because it's gonna sting and I don't want it to sting. I've been so busy. I haven't had time to sit down and talk about the last day at Warrnambool and essentially review the whole trip. So I'm doing it now on the 22nd of June. And the last day of the trip was the 5th, so it's been about 17 days. Oops. So the last day we got up and we packed our things into the car, made sure we had everything, and then we headed out. And what we planned to do was we wanted to do op shopping that day. But before that, we went back to Logan's Beach to try one more effort to find a whale. We didn't find any whales. No whales for us. That's okay though. And then we started doing op shopping. And the first op shop we went to was a little one. I can't remember the name of it, but I know it was a little one. And it from there I got quite a few sewing patterns. I got a knitted outfit for my baby doll. I got a ring. I believe I got a couple of CDs as well. So we did this in a sort of like tag team sort of thing, where my sister Becky and I would go first, and then Mum and Dad stayed in the car with Zoe, and we changed it every so often because sometimes I'd go with Dad and sometimes I went with Mum, so it was like that. After that one we went to, I'm not going to remember the names of all of these, just letting you know. I think next was Vinny's. And that was on like the main street. It was Vinny's and Uniting Church. So we went there and we bought some more things. I think when we got home we figured out the grand total of CDs we'd bought out of all the places we went to. So that's including Fletcher Jones and a couple of op shops at Port Fairy. I think we ended up with like 15 CDs, which was amazing. But I also got some more little things. Then we had lunch at a little cafe, and I had eggs Florentine. I really like eggs Florentine. They're very good. So that's your bread, your smoked salmon, a poached egg, hollandaise sauce. It's very good. Or you can have bacon instead of smoked salmon. But yeah, we had that, and Zoe got a little bit rowdy, but that's usual for Zoe. Then we went to Uniting Church. So the lunch was between the two. Went to Uniting Church. It was Mum and Dad went in, and then Becky and I went in, and so we were waiting outside with Zoe, and Becky decided she wanted to go into this little gift shop. She wanted to find something in there for Mum, like a birthday present type thing or a souvenir, and she found a tea towel. And then Dad came out because he'd finished looking, but Mum was still looking around, so Dad came out, Becky and I went in. I bought a few things, as you do. And then we came back out and we got ready to get into the car and go to the next place. We headed to the car, and Dad realised he'd left his phone on the bench that was outside of Uniting Church where he was waiting. We went back to find it, came back, hadn't found it, which was concerning because, like, how could the phone have gone missing that quickly? So then started the journey of trying to find the phone. So we went and asked at the different stores and they didn't have anything, and Dad was just gonna give up and say, okay, you know what, we're just going to cancel the number, it'll be fine. But Mum and I were determined, so we went and we asked all the stores in that general vicinity. All the shopkeepers were really concerned. They wanted our contact information so they could call if anyone handed in Dad's phone. But we were leaving that afternoon, so it was going to be like no use. And then we went to the police station. Meanwhile, we kept calling Dad's phone to try to see if anyone would answer. We went to the police station. There was no one at reception at the police station, and no one seemed to want to help us, which was very disappointing and totally not what I was expecting from a police station, because the one where I live always has a reception. So while we were waiting for someone to come to reception and serve us, we called Dad's phone again, and someone actually answered and said, "Don't hang up. Who am I talking to?" And I said, "Well, you're talking to..." I said my name, and I said, "You've got my dad's phone." He said, "Yeah, I saw it on it. It was just left in the street." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he asked, like, are we local or are we tourists? I said, "No, we're not from this town." It's like, okay. And he gave us a place to meet him. So we walk the two blocks back to the car and tell Dad. Dad's very happy. And we go with Dad and we drive over to where the place is, and Dad and I walk up to the building, go there and go to the lady at the reception. We're like, "Yeah, someone left a phone for my dad. My dad's phone is here." And she's like, "Oh, is it the red one?" It's like, "Yeah." "Ah, okay." Gave it to him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, that's really helpful." That was good. Our trip wasn't ruined, which was great. After that, we only had 2 more op shops to do, and that was Salvo's and Lifeline, that one. Lifeline, I bought a lot of things. I finally found the sailor dress pattern I was looking for. I found 2 sailor dress patterns. One of them had the neckline I was looking for with the classic sailor collar, but the skirt was baggy. I didn't like the skirt. The other one had a little less of the sailor collar, or it was like a sailor collar but went all the way down to the waist, and I didn't like that. But the skirt was kind of what I wanted. So what I did was I bought both of them, and I'm going to essentially splice the patterns. I'm going to have the bodice pattern from the one and the skirt pattern from the other, put them together and have the perfect sailor dress that I wanted. So that's good. I'll add that to my list of sewing projects. Yeah, so we did that, and that was fun. I also got some assorted buttons and things. And then, so that I did with Mum. Oh, I also got, as a last minute sort of thing, I found a sailor bear, a sailor beanie kid. Her name is Shirley. See? Got the little hat and the little collar. I got a sailor beanie kid. She hasn't been washed yet, so she can't live on my bed. We'll have to wash her and then she can live on my bed. She only cost me $8, so that's a steal. For now, she's gonna sit on my desk because she's not going on my bed until she's been washed. And she's not being washed until I put her in the laundry, so yeah. Same with the little aviator bear that I got from the markets on the Sunday. This little guy, I think he was about $2.50. Look at him, he's so cute. He's got his little scarf. If there are 2 types of bear outfits I like, it's the pilots and the sailors. Yeah. But then after that, Dad and I went into Salvo's, and we didn't get a lot of things. Found a couple of CDs. I found an album for Oklahoma and Oliver, the musicals, and maybe one day I'll do reviews of those, or at least analyses. I can do an analysis of Oliver. Maybe after I've read Oliver Twist, then I can compare them. And I'll do a review of Oklahoma because I still haven't seen it. I've got it on DVD, I just haven't watched it. think I got some more buttons from Salvos as well. They didn't have a lot at Salvos. It was quite empty, quite disappointing. When we got out of Salvos, a woman came past and she complimented me on what I was wearing, which was the same thing I was basically wearing the first day I went there, which was the plaid waistcoat and circle skirt that I had made last month. So this lady came and she was like, "Oh, I really love your outfit." And I went, "Oh, thank you." So that made me feel really happy. After Salvos, we started the trip home. And I had every intention to film the trip home so I could catch a sunset. But I fell asleep. I was just that tired. I fell asleep. Before I fell asleep, I caught a bit of vlogging. I got some nice mountains and hills and stuff, and the sun was still out. When I woke up, it was pitch black, and I want to say we were in Geelong. We were somewhere. We stopped so that Mum and Dad could swap over who was driving, and also so that we could take Zoe out to relieve herself, which she didn't want to do. She didn't seem to like that street, so she went back in the car, and we kept going. And then Mum had to go to the bathroom, so we stopped at like a trucky rest stop. Quite the experience, I must say. It was essentially giant parking lots for trucks and cars, and then this like shack type thing that was broken off into unisex toilets or disabled toilets, a maintenance room, men's toilet, and women's toilet. But for the men's and women's toilets, the lights were not on. It was creepy. So Mum went to the disabled toilet. Dad decided he was going to see if the lights turned on automatically. He went in, they turned on automatically. I still wasn't too confident in the whole going on my own thing, because it was terrifyingly creepy, and now I think about it, I did kind of have a nightmare one time where this person got assaulted at one of these public toilets, and now I realize that's probably why I got the bad vibes, and I just didn't realize it, so that's probably why. But eventually, nature calls, so I had to go, and I went, and I was tense the whole time. And then I finished, and they didn't have any paper towels to wipe my hands, so I just had to wipe them on my skirt as I came back out. And we went back to the car, and Becky had taken Zoe out of the car to relieve herself, which was great because Zoe actually needed to go at that point. And then we went back on the trip. Eventually we stopped at a service centre so we could have some dinner. We had Macca's, or McDonald's for everyone who doesn't live in Australia. We had McDonald's, Macca's. Dad got a coffee from Macca's, and he got some chicken from Red Rooster, so we could give Zoe some chicken for her dinner, which is good because Zoe hadn't had dinner at that time. So we got some dinner. That was great. I had a barbecue bacon burger. I think barbecue bacon's actually the name of the one from Red Rooster, but it was like Angus beef, bacon, barbecue sauce. Really good. Has now become my new favourite type of burger at Macca's. I usually eat the cheeseburgers, but I've upgraded, so that's a good thing. And then we headed home. I believe we finally got home at about 9, and we left Warrnambool at about 4. That doesn't seem right. I think we got there at about 7, actually. 7 or 9, I can't remember. I was that tired. Got home, immediately changed into some pajamas because, good word, that skirt is tight. But I did have fun. I will say I did have a lot of fun. It was very nice to go somewhere and just relax for a few days. It was especially great because it was like we left the day after one of my final assignments for the trimester of uni had been handed in, so it was like a reward for me to like, this is your first week on holidays, enjoy yourself. So it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. Cabin, not so much. The beds, oh my goodness, the beds. I don't think I've ever despised a bed in my life until that one at Warrnambool. I've never been to prison, but I imagine the prison beds might even be more comfortable than those. My head was so sore every morning that I woke up, and then I tried to do like 2 pillows, but that just made my neck hurt. So yeah, there's that. And then the cabin itself was quite small. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. Also, I'm pretty sure the website said there was an electric stovetop. There was barely a stovetop. It was like a gas stove. There was also supposed to be a dishwasher in there, which didn't exist. And of course, our barbecue pipe leaked, so we couldn't actually use the barbecue. And the porch lights weren't working. They had to come back the next day and just refit a whole new light switch in. I shouldn't complain too much about. I think we got spoiled because when we went to Traralgon, the place was huge. Like there was a hallway basically, and we had a dishwasher, and we had a washing machine and a dryer. So I think we got spoiled going to Traralgon. Mum and Becky are planning a trip to Bendigo for Becky's birthday that I will definitely take you along with me on, and I will attempt to record more frequently and make sure my footage is still there. Hopefully we'll have better Wi-Fi. Bendigo's only like a couple hours out from where we live, so it'll be like go to Bendigo and surrounds. So we're going there for my sister's birthday. It'll be about 4 days and 3 nights. That'll be fun. Bendigo apparently has a lot of dog-friendly places, so it would appear they love dogs at Bendigo, so that's going to be fun. But as it stands, that will be the end of the Warrnambool vlog series, and I'm so sorry it took me 2 weeks to film this conclusion. Scattered throughout the video there will be pictures and little clips and stuff that I managed to take. So yeah. I don't know what's coming next. I've got a very busy trimester at uni. I will try to record as much as I can. I don't know how much I'll be able to record. It's 3 units next trimester. I might be a bit busy. Just know if I drop off, I'm going to try doing some shorts so you're still gonna see my face, but there'll be little short videos. I'm gonna try out the shorts. I'm definitely going to keep going with the sewing series. I've almost finished my birthday dress, which was this month's goal. My birthday's in like 2 months. You can never get something ready too early. My birthday dress last year, I think, was made back in March, and my birthday is in August. So, yeah. But my birthday dress is almost finished, and when that's finished, I've been vlogging every time I'm at the sewing machine. So, you will have a video for that. Probably with a voiceover and some nice music. I am planning, right after recording this, I'm going to do a little discussion on some of the MCU series on Disney Plus that I've been enjoying watching. Because we finished Moon Knight 3 nights ago, and I cannot stop thinking about it, so I want to talk about the MCU shows that I watched, the ones that are my favorites, and some of the tropes that I like. Just a little thing there. I was supposed to work on the Love Never Dies analysis, and I do intend to get back to that, but I keep forgetting, so there's that. I finished reading the Lockwood & Co. book. That's a goal. My next 4 books are books I have to read for uni, so yay. One of which I've already read, so it shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, so that's that. I will see you next week. Bye.